话。
Every spring, a female giant panda has only a few days to mate. Her scent attracts nearby males, and after mating, sperm meets the egg to begin fertilization. But the embryo does not grow right away. It may stay dormant for weeks or months until the mother's body is ready. Then it implants in the uterus and develops into a tiny cub. After the pregnancy is complete, the mother gives birth to a tiny cub, weighing only about 100 grams, marking the beginning of an extraordinary journey of growth and survival. However, in a managed breeding environment, the moment a cub is born, the keepers move in quickly. While the mother is briefly distracted, the tiny newborn is gently lifted from the den and carried to a nearby nursery. The mother often reaches out in an attempt to keep her cub close, reluctant to let it go. Even so, the separation is carried out as calmly and carefully as possible, with experienced staff working quickly to minimize stress for both the mother and her newborn. After being separated from their mother, the newborn cubs are placed in the care of a dedicated team of keepers. Around the clock, they are carefully fed, weighed, and examined to ensure they are growing normally. Their body temperature, breathing, and overall condition are constantly monitored while every small change is recorded. During these critical first days, even the slightest sign of weakness receives immediate attention, giving each tiny cub the best possible chance to survive and thrive. During the breeding season, dozens of giant panda cubs may be born within a short period, turning the nursery into one of the busiest places in the breeding center. Day and night, teams of keepers and veterinarians work in shifts without interruption. Every cub is fed on a strict schedule, weighed daily, and closely monitored for even the smallest changes in health. Detailed records are kept for each individual, allowing the staff to respond immediately if any problem arises. It is demanding, exhausting work, but every effort is focused on one goal: to give these tiny, fragile cubs the best possible start in life and keep the survival rate as high as possible. The separation is not permanent. Every other day, the newborn cubs are carefully returned to their mother for a supervised reunion. As soon as they are placed beside her, the mother gently gathers them into her arms, licking and nuzzling them before allowing them to nurse. These precious moments not only provide the cubs with their mother's milk, but also help strengthen the natural bond between mother and offspring. Once the nursing session is over, the keepers gently carry the cubs back to the nursery, where they continue to receive round-the-clock care until it is time for the next reunion. The reason the cubs are separated is simple. It's done to improve their chances of survival. First-time panda mothers are often inexperienced and clumsy when caring for their newborns. In the wild, it is estimated that only around 40% of panda cubs survive their earliest months. Mothers frequently give birth to twins, but they usually have enough milk and energy to raise only one. The weaker cub is often abandoned, left to starve, or simply too vulnerable to survive. Newborns can also be accidentally injured or crushed by their mother's weight. Under human care, however, survival rates can reach 70 to 90% thanks to constant monitoring and specialized care. Ironically, giant pandas have very few natural predators. For a newborn cub, the greatest danger is often not another animal, but the challenges of its own earliest days with an inexperienced mother. Sometimes, mother pandas can even become a little too playful with their newborns. Curious and inexperienced, they may paw at the cub, roll it over, or pick it up repeatedly without realizing just how delicate it is. A newborn giant panda weighs only around 100 grams, making it one of the smallest newborn mammals relative to its mother's size. Even a gentle nudge from an adult weighing more than 100 kilograms can be dangerous. During moments of play or while trying to reposition the cub, the mother may accidentally squeeze it too tightly, drop it, or roll onto it. Although none of these actions are intentional, they can easily result in serious injuries. For this reason, keepers closely supervise the mother's interactions with her cub during the earliest weeks, stepping in whenever necessary to protect the tiny newborn while still allowing the mother and cub to build their natural bond.
好，擦干净，吃完了，可以收拾。够了够了，下盘再喝哈。我们这会儿吃够了的嘛，我们下次再喝一点。好了，我那儿没得。打个嗝，你打个嗝够，少来打个嗝。
你给我下脑子一跳，你还凶来？想狗不？小家伙。
没吃饱。
At first glance, separating a newborn cub from its mother may seem heartbreaking, but for giant pandas, this carefully planned process has become one of the most important tools in modern conservation. Without human intervention, many newborn cubs would never survive their first weeks of life. First-time mothers can be inexperienced. Twins are common, even though only one cub can usually be raised successfully. And newborns are so tiny and fragile that even an accidental movement from their mother can become life-threatening. By providing specialized care during this critical stage, keepers are able to dramatically increase the chances that every cub will grow into a healthy young panda. Even so, the goal is never to replace the mother. Throughout the process, the cubs are reunited with her regularly to nurse and strengthen their natural bond, while the keepers quietly step in only when necessary. It is a careful balance between allowing nature to take its course and giving these endangered animals the extra help they need to survive. Today, many of the giant pandas living in breeding centers around the world owe their lives to this approach. Every healthy cub represents years of research, dedication, and countless hours of patient care from the people working behind the scenes. For one of the rarest bears on Earth, every single birth is precious. And every cub that survives is more than just another panda. It is another step toward protecting the future of an entire species.
그래 넣어 그래 짜고 저거 돼. 야 이거 그런 거 쓰잖아. 맞아.你趴下。
跟着你，没吃到你这个。来来来，你看你妹儿多乖。裤子都给我弄湿了。来来来来，走回去，走回家。走。哎呦，我踩着你一会儿。好运连连，